Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann, and I show people how they can live healthy, happy, sustainable lives by changing their habits and using cutting-edge products to help them age well. And I'm really delighted because today I'm joined by Chris Mansfield. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Julie. How you doing?
I'm really well. It's so good to see you. I'm very excited because for those of you that don't know Chris, he's actually a professional networker. There I go. You see, I said, didn't I? Keep it real.
Networker. That's the word.
Professional networker. Yes, absolutely. People do network professionally, and that's what Chris does. So I'm going to hand straight over to you, Chris, to give people your habits around networking.
Thanks, Julie. Okay. Well, I suppose this sort of conversation started a little while ago when somebody else asked me to give them, because whenever anybody talks to me about networking, they always want to know what's the best tip about networking and where's the best place to go networking. Of course, there are lots of different places to go networking, and there's lots of different tips to make it work effectively for you. But I ended up chatting to this guy about what we determined were like perhaps four key points of networking that, when you bring it all together, kind of makes all networking work a bit better. And I guess the first point of it really is when people are considering going networking, they really should go networking before they need to, because networking itself is a long, slow burn. It's not a quick fix. You can't just go out and get sales, because you have to build up relationships and get people to know you and trust you and all this kind of thing. And so many people only go networking when they run out of all their other leads and all their other things have stopped working and they're now desperate for business. And when you go networking like that, it shows. It's like a bad smell in the room, and people will just back away from you. So go networking way before you feel you need to, and give yourself a chance to build up those kind of relationships. Meet people, listen to them, ask them about their businesses, learn about them, and at some point they will turn and reverse that conversation to come back to what you do. And then you've got an opportunity not to sell, but just to tell them how you help people. I help my clients by doing this. I help my clients do that. Use the help word quite a bit, because it comes across so much better than just going, oh, I sell widgets, or I do this, or so that's the first thing. Go networking before you need to, ideally. Secondly is, when you prepare yourself to go to a networking event, which all people should, very often you get the attendees list, and you can try and target 4 or 5 people maybe that you'd like to have proper conversations with, rather than just going there with a big box of business cards and just handing them out to everybody, So yeah, do your research before you go to the event, but in your mind, take the attitude that you're going to treat everyone in the room as exactly the same wealth and value, in terms of not their cash, but in terms of who they know, what experience they've got, and how you could possibly help them. And treat everyone exactly the same. It doesn't matter whether they look like they haven't got a pot to pee in, or whether they are the CEO of a large corporate business. It doesn't matter. If they're in a networking room, they're all there because they want to chat. So go and chat. Don't discount anybody. Point 3 then is, having got yourself in the room and you've got that mindset of, I'm going to chat to anybody, it doesn't matter who they are necessarily, but I'm going to try and target 4 or 5 specific people. You need to go with the attitude of trying to see how many people you might be able to help, rather than how many people you might be able to sell to. And the reason I say that becomes clear, because if you're going into a room trying to help someone, and you're having a proper conversation trying to find out how, the atmosphere of the room changes completely. The element of you trying to sell to people gets reduced massively. And then point 4, I suppose, is when you're having these proper conversations, learn about the other people, take a genuine interest in them, listen more than you speak. And believe it or not, when you're listening, people will tell you most of the stuff you need to know in order for you to be able to help them. So when you put that lot together, just picture a room of, say, 40, 50 people where nobody is desperate to sell. They're all treating each other as equals. They've all gone with the attitude of seeing how many people they could help. And they're all having proper conversations to find out how. Just imagine that room of 50 people all trying to help each other, as opposed to the same 50 people in the same room, all trying to sell each other what they do. And to me, that is the true art of networking. Obviously, there's lots of other bits and pieces that you can add on to and bolt onto, and you can discuss all day long. But to me, that's the core of it. Go networking before you need to. Go with the attitude of treating everybody equally. Go with the attitude of seeing how many people you can help, not sell to, and have some proper conversations to find out how. And if you can't have the proper conversations at that meeting at that time, then ask the person for a business card, check with them if it's okay that you could continue this conversation. Say something along the lines of, this has been really interesting. We're running out of time now. I'd like to spend a bit more time getting to know you and your business. Should we arrange to go and have a coffee somewhere, or take the call on Zoom to a one-to-one, and then continue that by having a proper conversation? And gradually over a period of time, the relationships will build up with a variety of different people, and stuff will happen. It always does, always will do. It just takes a bit longer than some people think. I'd say that's probably the gist of it for me.
Well, I mean, those are the most important things, aren't they, that you've covered there?
Yeah.
Anything else is just a bonus, isn't it? I think it's always about relationship, ultimately, isn't it? No matter what we do in life, it's about the quality of our relationships.
Absolutely, totally. Yeah, I mean, so many people think they can just tip up at a networking event with a bunch of cards and they'll get some business. And yeah, you might do. There's always a chance that odd thing might happen. But the reality is that we all have a choice, and we like to get to know the people we're working with. So before we actually buy anything, be it a service or a product or whatever, we like to feel we trust that business and that person. And I think so many people get that aspect of networking wrong. Over a period of years. I mean, you could make a connection 4 or 5 years ago that suddenly turns into something because you've been consistent. I say to a lot of people, a lot of people that go networking forget one key thing. Do you know what? Not actually everyone needs what you do or wants what you do. That's one thing. And even those that may need what you do may not need it right now. But the thing is that as and when they do need it, they've got to think of you first. So you've got to be consistent with your networking, go to some nice events that you really enjoy and go regularly, often, consistently, and gradually people will get to know you and remember you. And as and when they need what you do, they'll give you a buzz or pick up with you at the next networking event.
And the more you enjoy the experience, surely that the easier it is
Absolutely.
to connect with people, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and this partly, I suppose, leads on to why I do what I do. In many cases, a number of the people that I work with, they hate networking with a vengeance. They know it works, they've seen it work, but they'd rather put sharp sticks in their eyes than get up and go to a networking event. So, that's where I can step in and help people. I mean, I cover probably, I was working out the other day, 22 events a month. But that's my business. That's what I do. Most businesses can only perhaps spend the time doing 3 or 4 events a month if they're lucky. So that's where we can step in and we can help clients that want to benefit from networking. They want 20 odd years of experience of doing it and the time to do a lot.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that is that it's not about selling to the room, is it? Because the people who are in the room are there to see how they can help people with the business that they have. It's really, they want to meet other people that these people in the networking room are connected to. It's not about them doing business with you directly, and there might be opportunities where that actually does happen.
Well, that's right. And I mean, even with BNI, which is well known as a referral organisation, you know, you have a lockout, you get a minute to do your pitch once a week, you know. But the idea of that is again, as you say, not to be selling to the room. The idea is that once a week, you've got 60 seconds to educate your sales force as to what it is you do and what you're looking for. And they are supposed to go out and try and find those connections for you, not necessarily buy it themselves.
Yeah, I love that you put it like that. That totally explains it. Brilliant, Chris. So for those of you that would, you know, just like a little bit more of Chris, then I'm going to put all his links below this video. So do check him out. So thank you ever so much, Chris. And thank you all so much for watching.
You're welcome, Julie. Thanks ever so much.